All right, welcome to another episode of the Chart Readers. We are rounding out the banking and lending technical analysis. This is Loan Depot and Lending Club. It doesn't look fantastic here, but I'll be honest, a lot of good has happened for Loan Depot. So when I zoom out, it'll be a little easier to see. But before we dive in, real quick, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Real quick, okay. I've personally talked about Loan Depot because they have actually done a refi on my house, and I shopped around with a number of people. I did Rocket, I did Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I even did a smaller credit union in my in California, and yeah, Loan Depot had really good rates, and it always shocked me that their stock just tanked, right? But just immediately, look, I always say this. Red will eventually be a real easy green, right? It looked like it wanted to be this. It clearly wasn't, right? You can see the 100. I'm not trying to get too in depth, but I mean, it literally just went horizontal, and I often say it. Once you're in a horizontal cluster of really, if you're in the 4 or 5, right, even 3 is more than 50% of them, right? So anything can happen, and generally it's a violent up or down. And this thing finally got its violent up. Still a long way to go to be back in the green if you're an early investor, but I mean, this was a much needed move for sure, right? So a couple real good technical things to comment. Obviously, I talked about the horizontal cluster. You can see how beautifully this thing goes with the 8, right? A couple scary moments, right? And I'll zoom in a little bit here. This one could have fooled out a lot of people, even myself, really, I'll be honest. Nonetheless, though, this thing has tried to bounce on the 8, and then it looks like it's obviously losing it right now as we come in, right? But let's talk about this a little bit. So it was a real nice move from a buck 60 to 230, and I'm trying to do some math in my head as I say that, but look, that's a nice little percentage right there, right? I really can't do the math right now, and I apologize, but yeah, when these are two, look, they're close enough to a doji, but that's definitely one day under. This one was over. That's a bad second day under, and often I say that's confirmation enough to really believe you're going to come down at least here, right? That's generally how I do my technicals. The one cool thing was, and I guess this just kind of comes to it, right, is when I wouldn't say it was the first one because that one was really the first one, but when you get a good move up, the 8 sometimes is powerful enough to like suck it back in. But honestly, I probably would have unloaded a good amount right there. And then I probably wouldn't have entered this thing if it crossed that, right? That's probably what I would have done if I was in this. I actually wasn't. Like I said, in this January world, I was very Nasdaq. I really was. But yeah, I feel like that's how I would have played it out in all honesty. So yeah, but nonetheless, back to immediately where we're at. I think I zoomed in too much actually. Sorry for all those in and outs. So we are now 1, 2, 3 days under the 8 and one really bad day under the 20. Okay, this is the first time we're on the 20 since we've made this massive run, right? So, I mean, I'm telling you, tomorrow is going to be really telling. And what I don't like is I don't like that MACD. I don't like that RSI. And really, it's been a lot of selling these last couple days. And just about all 3 days of the selling have at least been the 50 moving average. So that does scare me, right? Yeah, I mean, really, hopefully it doesn't go much lower than this because, hey, maybe the 50 will still kind of come up and maybe it'll bounce here. But yeah, it really seems like we're coming to the 50. And my fear is I don't know if this thing's going to hold the 200 because I'm just going to zoom out real quick. I know. Look at this thing. When was oh my good. We've literally never, this is the first run over the 200, right? So we've yet to even use this as a bounce point, right? So can we actually bounce back and go back up? We'll see, right? And it'll take some market conditions for that. But yeah, it seems like we might be coming down to this range. Hopefully, this $2 line will hold it. I imagine it looks a little better on the weekly. Yeah, it really doesn't. I don't know what where's the 209 line coming from? Because it's not that. I'll tell you that much. What's 209? Ah, it's the top of that guy. Okay. All right. Yeah, that was an important line because yeah, when that broke, that okay. So that we'll keep 209. I don't know how important 209 is anymore. I'll be honest with you, because clearly we've passed that peak, right? So that one's not as fresh. You know what? Let's make some new lines real quick. Let's delete these. Yeah, let's delete all eight. And then let's make a couple new ones. So, what I don't want to know, okay, that one is going to be important coming up. Don't want to lose that. 218. That's going to be a better line. Really, that's kind of the only line we needed between these. If we don't stop at 218 and bounce up, we're coming down to one of these. And again, that green can, I should have gone the green can turn into red really quick, right? I would hate to lose this and fall to that, because from there, that's going to be the next real safest point. It's the bottom of that, bottom of some of those. I'll just draw that real quick, right? Give or take that. Again, I'm not here for perfection. That's a good give or take line right there. But yeah, those actually are the only immediate ones. I'll draw a couple above us. Really, the first one that I'm going to care about is that guy. And then, oh man, yeah, you break that and you're starting to run there. We'll put it to that. So I'll be honest. I would like to know when we get over that. I would like to know. Again, an alert is not an immediate buy. It's definitely a come check it out. But yeah, I think this is a good Loan Depot. Did I look at the weekly? Again, look at this thing, right? And I talked about this on another stock in this sector for sure. But that break of the 50 is beautiful. That's not a beautiful week after confirmation. I needed that candle to go up. That's a doji in my book, right? And I always say doji doesn't count. The week after follows. And again, first time over the line break, I need real good confirmation. Now we're actually under 50% of this one, right? So Loan Depot definitely has me a little worried. So we will end that there. And then we come to Lending Club. Oh man, Lending Club is on the verge. So Lending Club needs to, it's dying to get over the 100, right? Tries to, breaks it actually, horrible, no confirmation. Does actually break it, no confirmation. Doesn't quite break it, but hey, I'm actually kind of okay with this day. You're still over the 8, you're still over the 20, you're well over 50%. Let me know when you're over 10, 20, let's even call it 1031. I would love to know if you can cross 1031. Again, this is not a buy immediate. It's a come check it out. But look, RSI is low enough to where if it takes off, that's a nice gap from the 100 to the 2, right? That's how it works. Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. Break the 50, go to the 100. Break the 100. Hopefully, we're going to make a nice little move up to here, right? So that'll become the point. I'm gonna go. Let's go ahead and just like we did earlier. Let's go to the drawings. Let's make some new lines for Lending Club. So again, first and foremost, I'm gonna say it's all about the 100, right? I mean, just it's been since September. At least we've broken it before, so there's at least hope that we can get over it and run, right? This is gonna be a line right there, and then let me zoom out a little bit. Man, yeah, there's not too much more because I imagine this is, yeah, that's exactly at the 200. So I'm not going to draw that. I guess I can draw that because, hey, maybe as that comes down, we don't want to forget where that is. But yeah, we'll take that right there. And then I'll look at that. That hits that. I like that. And then we'll do one more up here. Just if it makes a good run, right? That's there's something going to be in between there for sure. And then obviously down here, we've got this bad boy. And then this bad boy. I'm going to actually take this bigger one here, not this little guy. So I think this is a good thing. And then obviously in the middle is just these 4 lines. If you can get over this blue one, you should fly up. If you fall below the red one, it will be a bad fall. And hopefully it doesn't go much lower than that one. So yeah, not too shabby right there for Lending Club. What does the weekly look like? I mean, man, look at this. Look, I talk about on the daily often. It's clearly the same on the weekly. When you're under the 8 and you're under the 20, it's a horrible thing. If these two can start curving up, oh man, again, look at this thing, right? If this is where, right, this is horrible, 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 but eventually it'll horizontal, and then hey, if it could go up, if your weekly looks like this, your daily is gonna be just beautiful, right? So horrible weekly, horrible daily, right? Good weekly, amazing daily. So we're waiting for these two lines to just work their way up, and it kind of looks like they want to, but again, it kind of looks like is a lot different than actually doing it, right? But just keep that in mind. So hey, I hope you're learning. I appreciate your time. More videos are coming.